Perfect. And then a few of you may recognize me. I've worked with you before, but my name is Jamie Fields. I'm the Director of Academic Advising and Student Services. I have in the room with me, off the screen, but she's coming over, Courtney Lane, who is now the new EMBA Academic Advisor. She will be kind of behind the scenes helping and handling chat. So if you've got any questions through this, you can submit that via chat and we'll assist you along the way. So yes, thanks, Courtney. Yes, thank you all for joining us. We're excited to get this workshop series started as we hope to get everybody kind of some additional information and, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Hoping I could minimize this. So we want to get you guys some additional information just to assist you along the way. So it's different. We miss having you guys on campus. We miss those interactions on the weekends and seeing you and having those additional conversations with you. So we've implemented this workshop series. We plan to do it through the end or through December, the end of kind of fall 2. And we will hopefully help you guys learn a few more tips and tricks, stay connected, and then get in there to get you some additional information before we can welcome you back to campus, hopefully in January. So we will get started. For those of you that have joined along the way, thank you for joining us. We are talking about our hack number 1. So minimize your efforts while maximizing your success. So what does that really mean? So let's go into kind of the agenda for today is how will this help you simplify your studies, which is what our workshop series has been titled. So today we're going to talk through how to utilize the 3 E's, which is a term kind of Courtney and I coined to talk about some 3 important aspects of your academic enrollment and your progress here. Your student services success team, who are they? What can they help you do? Communication, best practices. What are some tips to help you with proper communication? Critical actions. To be a successful student, what items must you do during your time here? And then future workshops. How can they help you? Which ones are coming up? So first, we're going to move into maximizing your success with the use of these 3 E's of success. So you can see there, we've broken them down to the 3 E's: engagement, expansion, and efficiency. What does that really mean? So engagement, you will get out of this program and any academic program what you put into it. That's something that I think students forget often because it feels a little bit more like a chore sometimes. So you have to remember that to be successful, you need to put in that extra work as well. So engagement can mean a variety of things. Engaging with your classmates, with your faculty members, with your advising staff. It can be engagement in the coursework, learning some additional content, trying to figure out how you can engage that coursework and connect it to your career path, what you're doing at work, what you want to do at work. So engagement expands kind of in a broad approach. And one thing that I want students to really recognize and remember is that positive engagement is likely going to lead you to more positive results. So positive engagement with all of that faculty and staff, positive engagement and mindset with your actual work that you're doing right now on a weekly basis, different, when you're on campus and you have those weekend sessions, but a more positive mindset in that engagement approach is going to help you get those more positive results along the way. Just simple shifts like that are what we hope that you can get out of this workshop and to be able to implement those things. So I want to ask a quick question. You can raise your hand. If you've got your video on, you can use the little button to raise your hand. But who has a friend or a professional contact or a colleague that you have met through this program? A couple people, hopefully, that have raised their hands. So one of these things is what I want you to think about. Like, this is kind of a way that you can engage too, is expanding that network that you have. Engage with your classmates, engage with your faculty members. They can help you more than just right now in the moment. they can help you along the way. Make those friends that you can have study buddies or make study groups, kind of really building on that engagement. Have those faculty members that you can rely on for support, reach back out to for questions and comments or career advice along the way as well. I've been in your shoes. I was a working adult who went back to school, who had family commitments, wanted to still have a life outside of school and work. And so I know what it's like to sit in that classroom, to have the extra burden of schoolwork on as well. So what I want you guys to think about is I just kind of want to tell you a quick story about my experience doing that. And I have a very vivid memory of sitting in a class, and it was a hard class. It was a tough instructor, and it had a lot of work that we had to do each week. And I remember sitting in class and being very frustrated that I couldn't believe this instructor was assigning 3 or 4 assignments that were due next week. Some of them were pretty extensive. We had a 3-page paper we had to do. And I was frustrated. And I was like, how are we supposed to do this? Why am I doing this? And something clicked. I had a moment of realization, and I thought, you know what? I'm investing a lot of time. Investing a lot of financial resources to get this degree. And this instructor is doing exactly what I've asked of them to do, is to teach me and to help me grow and to help me learn. And so in that moment, I shifted my mindset to being frustrated, to being more engaged. I respected the faculty member for actually upholding her end of the bargain. I was paying her essentially to teach me, and she was doing just that through the forms of assignments that had been established to really support that curriculum and that course. So shifting my mindset was a better approach for me to engage with the instructor, because I communicated with her differently. I thought of her differently. I engaged with my classmates differently because I was able to ask for help where it wasn't a frustrating situation. And so I really wanted to ask their help for on assignments, or what are best practices that you're getting this done, as opposed to being frustrated and just complaining with them in regards to having so many assignments. And then it really helped me engage with the curriculum, because for the same reason, I went into my assignments and approached them differently with a different mindset. I was more engaged. I was learning more instead of just going through the motions to get it done so I could turn it in and cross it off my to-do list. So engagement is really important. And I want to circle back to something I did before, is that positive engagement will lead to more positive results. And I hope my personal experience can kind of showcase that, is that with a shift in my mindset, I had more positive engagement with all of the people that were there to support me, as well as my own learning in that particular course. And luckily, that was a course that was pretty early in my program. And so I had a different level of engagement throughout the rest of my program than I would have had I not made that shift. So that kind of moves into expansion, which is the second of the 3 E's that we've established. Use this opportunity to really expand your mindset, expand your knowledge, and expand your network. So again, a lot of things can be encompassed in this one simple word. And it is not easy to be in a program here at Ottawa. It's not easy to be in an executive MBA program. It takes work. It is challenging, and it's supposed to be, because you're here to grow, you're here to learn, and you're here to get something out of it, whether that's professional or personal goals or both. So it's not easy, and it shouldn't be, or you will be wasting your finances, your time, your financial investment, and your time investment. So I really wanted you to embrace that challenge and focus on critical thinking. How can you expand or grow from where you are now? What does that word mean to you? So I'm going to take a second, and I want you guys to write down or type in, you're on your computers, think of one word that finishes this sentence. During the EMBA program, you hope to expand blank. What do you hope to expand while you're here? Whether that's your knowledge, whether that's your career path, something. What does that mean to you? Take a second and write that down.
Business management skills, learning.
Oh, perfect. People are putting it in the chat. That's great. So business management skills and learning, those are great. Thank you for sharing. So keep that in mind as you go through. I ask you to do that because I also want you to think about when you reflect back on your time, you've graduated, you've earned your degree, you think back on your time here at OU, what do you want to be able to see that's happened? What is that result that you want to get to? When you look back, I certainly don't hope and don't think that you would want to look back and just say that you were going through the motions. I hope that you think that in this 2-year time frame, essentially, that you're in the program, that it's really benefited you. And what would help you to benefit you? What is that long-term goal? So if you kind of keep that word in mind as we go through this workshop and as you go through the program, you can always result back to that, or all the actions you're taking leading you back to that goal. So then efficiency. Efficiency is, again, a broad word that can mean a lot of different things. But in this regard, we really want to talk about it is that in a way, in order to accomplish both engagement and expansion, you have to have efficiency. You have to have efficiency with your assignments and turning in assignments. You have to have efficiency with deadlines and understanding what those mean. You have to have efficiency in your communication skills, in your communication with your success team and support team. And then, just along the way, you have to be efficient to stay on task. So meeting deadlines, understanding the course requirements, being efficient in those communications along the way so that you're not wasting or spending extra time on unnecessary items. So again, I want you to take a minute. You're welcome to share and chat. You're welcome to write it down because this is more personal reflection. But I want you to write down what's one thing you need to work on to be more efficient. Keep in mind if it's one word, if it's a sentence, if it's a couple of things, if you know that that's something you need to do, write that down and keep that in mind. Always be focusing on that. And you know what? If you work on focusing on that right now, if you can improve that piece, that is also going to actually advance your engagement and advance your expansion. That one little piece might help you grow in those areas without a whole lot of effort, which is, again, ties back to what we've called this, maximize your success while minimizing your efforts.
Yeah, some that are going to work on communication, networking, time management, ethical decisions, communication, lots of really good responses in the chat.
Perfect. I love all of those. And you know what? Actually, we're going to hit on all of those pretty much in this presentation, which is fantastic. So what we want to go into now is talking about how you can actually do a few minor tweaks with things that you do here during your academic program with your communications with the success team to lead back to hopefully helping you reach that goal that you established, as well as what you need to improve on in regards to the efficiency. So let's kind of walk through that. So first of all, we're going to talk about your success team. Who is that? What does that mean? How can it help you? So it's going to start with you. How can you support your own success? I think this is something that a lot of students forget, is that sometimes we expect other people to help us, your professors, your academic advisor, international programs department, which are all part of your success team, but it really starts with you. So what are some things that you can do to support your own success? So the first of all is be knowledgeable. And that's, again, a broad term, but what does that really mean? So attending workshops like this, how can you expand on your knowledge? How can you find some ways to improve your skill set, to improve your study habits, to improve your efficiency in submitting assignments, things like that? Review all the course materials. I think this is something that students forget to do, is at the beginning of the course, it seems like you just need to dive in and get started because you just want to get that homework assignment done. If you set aside 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes even to review the syllabus, any announcements that the instructor has posted, all the materials that are expected in the course, it's all available there for you in Blackboard. Familiarize yourself with it so that when you start the course, you already understand what's going on. It allows you to prepare yourself to be, to go right in to those assignments without having a bunch of questions to try to figure out along the way. So prepare yourself yourself by doing that. And then take responsibility for your own education. So that's something that, like, if there's an area that you're not as familiar with, like APA citations or plagiarism, what can you do to be more knowledgeable in that area to help yourself in all the other courses and with all your other assignments? It may take a little bit of extra work on the front end, but it's going to save you a lot of time on the back end as you go through your courses. So again, I'm going to ask for a quick raise of hands. How many people on the call actually review their syllabus before the course starts? Do we have anybody? No.
Oh, yep.
Oh, got one. Two, which is great. Kudos to you guys, because I know this is something that students forget about or don't think it's important, but it is. It affects so much. I think a lot of questions could be answered. It affects a lot of communications, because if you ask questions that were already addressed in the syllabus, if you understand what the course requirements are, if you understand the deadlines, if you understand the instructor policy on late work, all of those things ahead of time let you be more proactive throughout the course, and enhance those communication skills between the different parties. So that essentially leads me into be timely and proactive. Again, we talked a little bit about this with efficiency, but that's really with your assignments. Those deadlines are set there for a reason. Assignment due dates. The structure of this type of program, where you're doing things on a weekly basis, builds up that curriculum because you're learning it so fast in a short amount of time, that we've put those pieces in place on purpose. We have an academic design team that builds that curriculum to support your learning. So they're not just out there to make sure you do something each week. It's out there for a reason. So be sure that you're meeting those assignment deadlines. Seek help in advance. So if you're struggling, ask for help early. Don't wait till after the fact. It's too late then. We can't help you as easily. So again, be proactive, be timely. And that's with updates too. Let us know what's going on. We understand you're adults. We understand that you have rigorous job requirements. You've got families. If you're struggling, that's what your academic advisor and support team are here for. So let Courtney know, let myself know, we can support you, and always let your instructor know. They need to know what's going on that might impact something in your class or your performance in the class. So we always want to know that stuff ahead of time so we can work through that with you and we can be here to support you. So then be professional. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more of what that means, but in your communications, in your academic work, and in your commitment to school. So I'm going to ask another question, and you can internally, you can say this, or you can raise your hand if you think this, but do you treat school with the same regard and standards that you would your work life? So that means you treat your instructor the same way that you would treat your boss. Do you treat your academic advisor the same way that you would treat a coworker or your boss? Are your communications professional the same way that you would write them to your employer?
Getting a lot of yeses.
Good. That's fantastic, because you should, because you are in an executive program. We're here to support you just as you are there to be supported at work. So one thing that you can really do to support your success is have that mindset that you treat school the same way as you would treat your employer. So good. I'm happy to hear that. And continue to share that with your classmates and those other connections that you have, because sometimes people don't think about that, and it's just as simple, they don't recognize that or haven't thought about it that way. So in discussions with other people, if you find something that someone's frustrated with a situation, talk through it in the same way that you would talk through a work situation. It's again that engagement, is that shift in mind expansion to shift your mindset. So I think that will help you support your own success. So your professor, another part of your success team. How can your professor help you? So it kind of outlines that here. You can contact your professor with course concerns, assignment question, attendance issues, grade disputes. All of those things should be communicated with your professor up front. But best practice tips are communicate respectfully. Always address your professor as Dr. whatever their last name is, unless they tell you otherwise. That's just shows a sign of respect. And then remember that professors also have to follow university policy. So just like I talked about the assignment due dates, like that, a lot of that is established for them. They work with our academic design team to formalize the class and those assignments, but there are university policies that they must uphold too. So remember that when you're contacting them and having those discussions. So quick helpful hint is that contact information can be found in Blackboard. In Ultra, you click on their picture or their name, or you can go into the class roster. And if you click on, I believe, the little ellipses by it, it will provide the email address and phone number. You can find it in the My Ottawa portal if you go under My Schedule, and it will have a couple little links where you can get their email address. And then it's usually in the syllabus as well. So you should always be able to find that. Here's a few things that you go to your advisor for. A couple notes that I want to remind you is that advisors can't make policy exceptions. We can't really discuss anything about can't approve any exceptions to your assignments or anything in class. We're here to support you and provide resources and assist you along the way. So please remember that as you communicate with us in regards to what you might need help with, but that emba@ottawa.edu is the best contact. And we're here to help you. We can also get you to the right person if need be. And same with international. They help you with all things CVIS related, all things I-20, any CPT questions, all of that will be funneled through international programs. And then they have their email there as well. And a good tip is to remember that response time. I know when you're doing forms or updating things, international programs needs at least 3 days in advance, 3 business days. But contact time for response for all of these people that are here to assist you is typically, we ask that they do it within 24 to 48 hours. So remember that when you're communicating. So that's your success team. Utilize them in those ways to help you. So let's talk through professional communication. What does professional communication mean? So we've kind of asked this question already, and kudos to you that a lot of you said you already think about this, but when you are ready to send an email or you're ready to call one of the staff members, would you send that email or would you have that conversation with your boss or a respected elder? If you might not, then rephrase that. How can you have a more productive, more positive engagement conversation with a staff member, whether it's your professor or an advisor? So there it kind of outlines, seek to understand, ask questions. A lot of times with assignments, students will email instructors and say, well, I didn't get these points, or I'm frustrated because I didn't get points. And one thing I always try to tell them is rephrase how you're saying that to your instructor. Simple changes like that can really support a positive conversation with your instructor. For example, instead of just kind of blatantly saying, you didn't give me these points, you could easily say, hello, professor, I see that I met these requirements, or I understood that this was a requirement of the assignment, and I thought I did this, met this requirement by putting this piece of information in. However, I missed points on this. Can you explain to me what else I'm missing? Can you elaborate on the feedback you gave me to help me be able to improve this next time? So if you kind of showcase that you're trying to learn and that you're reflecting on what you did versus what the feedback was, that just really enhances the conversation. That allows the instructor to see where you're coming from and then also respond back. So always seek to understand, seek to gain feedback, and also clarify kind of what you're seeking. What is that end goal? What are you looking to seek out of this communication? So be succinct, be respectful in all communications. Again, be clear on kind of that desired resolution. Doesn't mean that you're going to get that resolution, but it saves you time from just having a conversation that goes on because we don't know what the end desired goal is. And it helps you guys work to that, or to understand and clarify that, no, we can't make changes to your final grade. However, here's where you can make improvements next week. Here's where the disconnect on what I see in your assignments and what your understanding of the requirement is. So seek to understand. And then again, be mindful of that response time as well. So again, everybody's there to support you, but this professional communication will really help build those relationships and that engagement. Again, positive interactions generally lead to more positive results. So if you kind of take that approach And then again, it's not going to waste your time sending unnecessary emails or unproductive emails or phone calls with individuals. So again, all about maximizing your results, and your success is kind of how can you save some time in your day as well to be able to focus on the other important things. So really try to think through what professional communication means and how you can implement this. And it's not just something you can implement in your academic life, it's your personal life, it's your professional life. How can you make small tweaks that will start giving you additional positive results? Or how can it help you with your efficiency goal that you set at the beginning, or what your desired end goal is going to be? What small tweaks in the way you communicate with others can be made to help support those things? And then critical actions. So what are some must-dos for a successful student? These may seem very trivial in a way, or that you've heard these a million times. And if you do them all, fantastic. You are likely a very successful student, which is why you took extra time out of your day to attend a workshop to try to improve yourself. But these are things, again, small tweaks that can make big impacts in your time here in the university. So monitor your student email. If you're not doing this on a consistent basis, you're likely missing very important information. All university contact to you regarding your student status here has to go through your student email. That's the only email your professors have. It's what we contact you from. It's what International uses. So please be sure to just make that a common practice so you don't miss things and you're not scrambling to try to fix things. So again, just a way to be proactive. Review all the course materials. We talked about that. Set aside of time each term to review those course materials each term, each Monday morning of a new week. Now that we're in this online format, that is going to help you set up and plan your schedule accordingly for that week and that term so that you're meeting those deadlines and you're not scrambling and rushing. Again, that proactiveness. Avoid plagiarism. You'll see that we have several workshops in regards to this. And if it's something that is inadvertent, if it's something that you're not fully aware of self-plagiarism or how to cite properly, doing some additional research in those areas and learning that can help you, because then you're not going to struggle or take additional time trying to do the assignments and trying to get all of those other pieces of the assignments correct. It's more about you're aware of this now, and that's going to save you on time for assignments that you're completing later. So again, a little prep work is going to help you along the way. So I hope you'll attend those additional workshops. Don't share papers. Don't reuse papers that you've already submitted. Don't use pieces and content of that, because one, it's not going to support your academic success. And two, likely our faculty members are going to review that. So it could get you in trouble. It could cause you to have to redo work. And so it just takes that extra time. So again, proactivity to avoid that will help. So I hope the additional workshops will be benefit to you. Communicate. Again, reach out to everyone in advance. Don't wait to the last minute that you need something done, or wait till after the fact to let us know that you've had a big life event or something that's been challenging you throughout the last couple weeks or the last term. Let us help you ahead of time. And then utilize OU Connect. This is a new system that we've implemented. You should have received a few emails over the last few weeks. But it's really a system for us to connect with you in another way, connect with your instructor to help understand what's going on in your actual course, to help monitor your success. You can raise flags. It's another way to get Courtney's attention to say, hey, I need some extra help. It's a way for your instructor to connect with us as well. So if you haven't yet, please go back and check your emails and set up your profile, do your intake form. It just allows us to get to know you better and connect with you in a better way to help support your success. And then check your grades weekly. At the end of each week, when your instructor grades it, look at that feedback. Look at those grades. Don't look just at the number. Look at the feedback. Think through that. Analyze it. How can you change it and adapt or improve going forward? What items are you doing well that you need to continue to focus on going forward? Really look at that feedback and understand what it means and how it can help you along the way. So again, that's that engagement piece. And then at the end of the term, I know a lot of students don't do this because you see maybe a final score in Blackboard, but it doesn't give you your final grade. So always check your grade at the end of the term in the My Ottawa portal under unofficial transcript or My Grades links. And remember that grades are always posted the Monday, 1 week following the end of the term. So checking your grades at the end of each term is going to let you track your progress, making sure you're meeting the degree requirements, making sure you're keeping up that GPA and doing all the things that you need to do. Or it'll allow you, if there's an issue or something you've got questions, then that way you can immediately contact your instructor, can immediately contact the advising team so we can help you. So again, proactive, be sure that that is something that you do consistently. And then just a helpful tip, your success is not determined by anyone other than you in this program. So it is so important for you to take responsibility. Being here today is a great first step to that. So kudos to you. Thank you for taking your time to do that. And just remember that all of these little things that you can do are you taking action and taking responsibility for your own success in this program. What are you going to get out of it is going to lead back to what are you putting into it. And then again, just to wrap up, I know we're just over time, so we are almost done. If you need to go, I completely understand. But if you're welcome to hang tight. We're just at the very end as well. But just to kind of wrap up, we're going to talk through small changes. These small changes will maximize your success. So again, engage, be prepared, be proactive, communicate, and network. Utilize the network that you have. And don't forget that that includes your peers and your classmates as well. They are there to support you. You guys, even at a distance, maybe are even more connected that you're in online classes weekly right now. So really utilize that and think about how the differences in how you network on campus together and how you network online. And how can you take the best pieces of both of those worlds and utilize them in the other format. So keep that in mind. Expand your knowledge, expand your mindset, figure out how this program is going to help you expand personally and professionally. What do you need to do to help you do that? What is your end goal? Keep that word in mind. Like when you look back on your time here at OU, what do you want to be able to say that you benefited from? What do you want to be able to say, I really grew in this area? Tape that up on your computer if you're doing all the sign links. Have that somewhere where you can see it and reflect back on it on a consistent basis to help you stay motivated and engaged along the way. And then efficiency, again, go back to that area. What do you need to change? If you work on maybe that small area of putting out a schedule, scheduling actual time for yourself to do assignments, marking your assignment due dates in your calendar so you know when you're coming up, meet those deadlines, be professional, utilize your resources, all of those things that can help you be more efficient. That may seem like a little extra work up front, but it's going to save you so much time on the back end of things. So again, engage, expand, be efficient, and hopefully those things will kind of help maximize your success in your time in the program and maybe even in your personal and professional life too. Last thing, we just want to, again, tell you that there are more of these upcoming hacks. So the next one is going to be hosted by Dr. Mary Lou DeWald, which should be a name that's familiar with most of you as well. And it is hack number 2 is don't cheat yourself, just say no to self-plagiarism. So she's going to give you a lot of good information on self-plagiarism, how to avoid it, how can you avoid it and still maybe do your work in a timely fashion. What does that really mean? So think about that. 3 is think like an executive, expand your perspective. 4, don't hesitate, learn how to navigate. Know how to use the online library. Another resource that may seem daunting, but if you know how to navigate it, it's really going to help you with all of your assignments to cut down on that research time. And then write your paper the right way. So that will be another one to try to help that efficiency in doing those homework assignments. And then how to use APA to help your GPA. So just another reinforcement of the APA style, formats. Again, hopefully some tips and tricks that will help you save some time along the way with your homework assignments. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. These, just so you know, these are always on a Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So mark them in your calendar. Hopefully this has been helpful. And if you've got, do we have any questions? If there's any last minute questions, you're welcome to put them in chat. I would be happy to answer them. No questions so far? So anyways, thank you guys so much. It's great to see a few of your faces, at least a few of your names on here. And we really miss you guys on campus, and we hope to have you back. If this was helpful, please encourage your classmates to attend. We really implemented them to benefit you as the student. So if you have any feedback, you're welcome to email us at emba@ottawa.edu. We would gladly take that feedback. And otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and let us know if you need anything. Thanks so much.